Hello my friends, welcome back to Keto in the Chaos. Today we are going to show you a recipe by Chef Dave. This is his own recipe for brining turkey, and so I'm letting him go ahead and do all of the videography for this one. And he has put the brine together and he is going to be cooking it in a giant turkey air fryer. So enjoy this little video from Chef Dave.
Alright, here we go. We got a turkey. It's about 11 1/4 pounds. As you can see, got a great deal on it at 50 cents a pound. So I mean, this whole turkey was $5.62. You just want to rinse it, pull the giblets and the neck out of it, and just rinse it off real good. And then we can start making the brine. Alright, for the brine, we're going to use the shrimp and crab boil. They're in boil-in bags, so they really worked well. Ingredients are right here. It's mostly just, oh, that's not the ingredients, that's the ingredients. Ingredients, mustard seed, dill seed, bay leaves, red bell pepper, black pepper, and coriander seeds. So really there's nothing in here but just spices and herbs. Alright, so these are the bags. As you can see, they're just spices. Oh, they smell really good too. So we'll just put those in the saucepan. There, we got about 1.5 quarts of water in here. We'll turn the heat on and get that cooking down. Then the other thing we're going to need for the brine is salt. You can use this. You can use real salt, table salt, kosher salt. Whatever you want for the brine, because it's just going to dissolve down. The Himalayan salt does leave a little bit of stuff that doesn't dissolve out, but it works well. That's what we're going with today. You want about for the total brine, you want 1.5 cups or 1.25 cups of salt per gallon of water. So we're going to just take all the salt and dissolve it down in the brine here. Then the last ingredient for the brine will be Zatarain's shrimp and crab boil. Now that gives you some heat. There is one ingredient in here that I didn't, the polysorbate 80. But all the rest are just spice extractives, hot pepper, capsaicin. It just gives it some heat. So. As you can see, the salt's just about dissolved in there. It's smelling good too. Alright, so once it's done boiling, you can see it's pretty much dissolved all but a couple of the crystals of salt. So you can still have a few little crystals. They'll continue to dissolve when you add the rest of the water. This is just, like I say, this is only about 1.5 quarts of water. And the rest of the water you want to put in later to cool this down. You can add ice, you can add other things to get it cooled down faster, but you don't want to put the bird in. You don't want to put the bird in on hot with the hot water, because it'll start the cooking process, and then you're setting yourself up for other things. So I use a 5-gallon bucket to brine my turkeys in. You can use a cooler, a drink cooler that's you just used specifically for that, because you don't want to be putting drinks in it after you've brined a raw turkey in it, just for safety reasons. But that's all I use this bucket for, is for that. So we dump this in there. I've got a little bit more water in there. We're gonna add some other cool water and get this cooled down before we put the bird in it. Alright, now this is where we're going to add in the shrimp and crab boil. Like I say, we want to get it to cool off enough. You can utilize ice as part of your water and it will cool it down. We're just going to wait a little bit, a few minutes, and then realistically it's cool enough right now. We could probably put oh yeah, it's cooled off enough that we could put the bird in there now. Cool enough. Set the bird down in there. Make sure he's completely submerged. Now, you need to have a refrigerator, so a container that will fit in your refrigerator, or keep it on ice. That's your only two options, because you need to maintain this in a cool temperature for sorry, the pepper's getting to me. Okay, you need to have a container that will fit in your fridge, or in a cooler with ice, because you need to maintain the temperature of the bird at refrigeration temperatures below 34 degrees, and let it sit in here for 12 to 24 hours. Alright, so the turkey's been in the brine for about 15 hours. We're going to pull this guy out and get it dried off a little bit. Okay, we got it dried out, and we're going to put it in the cage that is for the cooker that I've got. Alright, now I left it still wet from the brine, and we're going to add the Tony Checheres Creole Seasoning to the outside of it, and just liberally on all sides. And this just is mostly salt, red pepper, black pepper, chili powder, spices, garlic powder, and stuff. So it's zero carb, zero, pretty much everything zeros down the way. All right. Now one thing about these little pop-up timers, I leave it in there so it doesn't blow all the juice out, keeps it under the skin. But don't rely on these for your doneness. Use a thermometer in the meat, in the thigh, and in the breast to determine whether it's done or not. Okay. This is the cooker I've got. It's a charbroil BigEasy. And all you do is just drop it down in there, mesh lid on. Oops. Turn the propane tank on. Turn the flame on. Ignite it. And there you go. Just let it go. It'll bring it up to temperature. There's no fussing with the temperature. Alright, so you just set it down in there. You can already hear it starting to sizzle and pop a little bit. But we're just going to let her go for a little bit and see what we end up with. Alright, it's been a couple hours. It's looking pretty crispy there. Starting to crisp up a little bit. So we're going to pull it up and we're going to check some temps. Okay, not quite ready yet. It's getting there. $165 right there. So it's done. Alright, we're going to take this inside, wrap it up in some foil and let it sit for just a little bit. So, as you can see, this popped out well after I pulled it out of the oven, or out of the cooker. So, it's rested. Now I'm going to show you how I cut up a turkey, or chicken, or any other bird. Get the drumsticks off. And we'll take the separate the thigh off. Just at the joint. Separate the wing. Do it in two pieces. That piece. And here. Same on the other side. Ready to eat. And a lot of the dark meat just peel off.
Here's the turkey in all of its glory. I'm gonna have dark meat with the skin on. Spicy goodness. Alright, thanks for joining us for What to Eat Wednesday and another recipe from Keto in the Chaos. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you again soon.